Hello everyone, my name is Steve Samuel from Design Visionaries, and today's post is about the Blobject. A Blobject is a piece of geometry that is bulbous in nature, and it is smooth and nice, and as you can see I've made here a Blobject. And now I want to share some of the techniques. I want to show you how I did it, and just share with you the different commands that are available. So I used the realize shape to get the basic shape of it. And then I did some offsets and some different things. So here we go. Let's just get into a brand new file here. And I'm going to go to realize shape, and I'm going to start with a primitive that is a sphere. So there's my sphere. So with the sphere, you can do an extrusion of the cage, and that doesn't get you the smoothness that the transform cage does. Or it gives you smoothness, but not the same kind. So I'm going to use transform cage here. So I'm stretching out the whole thing like that. So apply. Let's select this guy right here, this face, and pull him out. Let's make him wider, say okay, and then I think I'd like to take this face and pull it and twist it at the same time. So I'm going to pull it out a little like this, and I'm going to tilt it a little like that. There we go. So as you can see, I can do some really, really neat things in realize shape to make my Blobject. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is do a offset, or I should say a thicken. Now this Blobject started, let's see, we could just measure from like that surface to that surface and put this on. And so this thing's 19 inches, so it's pretty large. It's 19, it's more than that, it's probably more like 25, okay? So what I want is a thin membrane around this Blobject, and I want it to have some air gap. I want it to have like an inch air gap, and I want it to be like a 1/4 inch thick. I'm actually going to go to 0.75 and 1.25. So there we go. Control H. There. So I've got the Blobject, and I've got a envelope around the Blobject. So now the next little piece is quite laborious, and it's nothing that you can accelerate because it just relies on your artistic ability. So I'm going to do a curve on surface, and I'm going to select the surfaces. It says tangent surfaces, so it selects them all. And then I want to make a spline with constraints closed, and I want to start making a nice little cutout that is not circular. Let's say it's more of a kidney shape. So that's going to be a cutout. Let's say apply, and then do it again. And this cutout wants to look like it kind of fits in the last one. So I'll do that one, apply, and now I'll do one that fits in here and kind of is gravitated by the other shapes. If I can use that term, gravitated. Apply. Okay, I'll do one more. Because in order to do all of them, it's time consuming, and I don't want to bore you to tears. That's always good, to not bore the folks that you're trying to help to tears. Keep it moving. Okay, so those are the shapes that I want to cut out of my membrane, so to speak. So now I'm just going to go to the divide face command. I'll select all the body faces. Actually, I want to select the tangent faces. So let's do divide face. Let's go tangent faces. And let's select our nice little curves. Like so, like so. Come on. There we go. There we go. So now we have different faces. You know what? There's more than one technique for this. Here, I'm just going to divide a few of them. Divide face, tangent face. I'm only going to divide these three, the three top ones, and say okay. So now what I want to do is cut holes in this. So one of the methods is to use the offset and select the region boundary faces and just grab this one, doink, and then I want to push it in like that, and it cuts out a nice hole. See? That's one way. The other way, and it does pay to have more than one way to do things, because every now and then the technique that you thought should work doesn't. Just is what it is. So this one I'm going to thicken. I'm going to thicken this single face, and I'm going to thicken it in two directions so it becomes a cutter. So I apply that, I apply that, I apply that, and then I do a subtract, so we're subtracting this, and we're selecting the tools. So you get the same result as the offset with the region boundary curves. It takes more steps, and so you should probably standardize on the offset command, offset with region boundary curves. But like I said, it really pays to know more than one way of accomplishing what you want. I find that as I use Creo, and I use SolidWorks, and I use Onshape, and now I've been experimenting with Fusion 360, because it's really nice to be bilingual, trilingual, quadrilingual, whatever. I find that with all of these systems, there's stuff that should work that doesn't always. And one of the really cool things about NX, I've always noticed this, is the flexibility and the fact that you have multiple commands that allow you to get done what you need to get done. Okay, so now you can see how I've got this interior model, this exterior kind of shell model, and then what I did was go to the point command, and I want point on face, and I want to select that face and hit apply, and select the face and hit apply, and select the face and hit middle mouse button, face, middle mouse button, face, middle mouse button, face, middle mouse button, face. So I distribute a bunch of points through that little window. Then I use the sphere command, and I put a sphere on each point. That's too small for this model, so let's see, I think I wanted about 2 inches. Let's see how 2 inches is. No, 2 inches is too big. How about 1 inch? So, yeah, I want some 1-inch spheres. I want one here. Sphere. Apply. There. Oops, let's make them all one. Apply. I could apply a random function to them all, so they all are different sizes. It would be a little bit more natural. And by the way, that's the look that I'm going for. I'm trying to create something that looks like it grew on a tree. Some of you who've seen my posts before know about me that I really like geometry that looks like it grew out of the ground. Some people call it humaniform. I like that term, humaniform. But in order to get these shapes, you really have to work, because it's not, you can't, in many cases, just type in a function, a mathematical function, and get it to go. Maybe that's what I like about it. I love using algorithmic modeling, because you can create a lot of geometry that follows some amazing mathematical equation. But I love doing the handwork, and at some points, sometimes it's quite laborious. Okay, so now I've got my basic shape. And now finally, I want to apply color to it. So I'm going to do materials in part. I'm going to assign visual materials, and it gives me plastics, it gives me paints, it gives me metals. I think I'll try some metal on this one. and I can select faces or whole bodies. So for this particular Blobject, it's going to have a brass, what is this? Polished brass interior. So I'm just going to move that over here. Look at that. That looks really cool. And it's going to have a glass exterior. So that's going to look really trippy. Light blue glass on this one. And now you've finished assigning the materials. So, boy, does that look really cool. I'm going to Control W to get rid of the coordinate system. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to take away the hidden edges like that. And now finally, I'm going to do a Ray Trace Studio. And see how it looks as it goes and goes and goes. Doesn't look too good. Doesn't look so great. It needs a better background. It needs a better background. Anyway, as you can see, I have so many choices and so many ways I can go with this. That is my basic Blobject. This is the one that I finished. It's kind of a patriotic pickle. Anyway, those are some techniques that you can use to do some design that would be very, very difficult if you were just using the regular surfaces. You'd have to create the curves, and you'd have to get them just right, and you'd have to loft these surfaces, and it would be really hard to really get it smooth. The realized shape allows you to do what some people call Class A surfacing so much more easily. Anyway, that's the end of that demo. My name is Steve Samuel from Design Visionaries. If you enjoy my content, please help out, like and subscribe, tell your friends, ring the bell, but above all, enjoy this great modeling package, and be creative, and I'll see you on the next post. Thank you.